Batch statements. Creating an account. This lesson will cover navigating to the Manage Accounts Receivables window, the process of attaching an account number to an existing profile, and the process of creating a new Accounts Receivables account. To navigate to the Manage Accounts Receivables window, click the Financials dropdown. Next, click Accounts Receivables and then click Manage Accounts Receivables. You can begin to create a new account by clicking the I Want To link, then click the Account link to open the Profile Search dialog box. From here, you have the option of searching for an existing profile or creating a new profile. Please review the lessons in the Profile Management courses for instructions on how to create profiles. In this example, we will search for an existing profile. Click the Search button. Click to highlight the profile and then click the Select button. Once you have selected a profile, you are brought to the Account Setup dialog box. From here, you are able to manually enter the AR billing details for the profile. The account name field is read-only and is based on the name of the profile you selected. The primary account checkbox is what you would use to designate this profile as the main AR account for the profile. A profile can have multiple AR accounts at the same property. However, only one of those accounts can be designated as the primary. If the permanent account checkbox is used, this AR account cannot be deleted. You would use the Include in Batch Statements checkbox if this account should be included when batch statements are generated. You would use the Restricted checkbox to place an account on hold. This will prevent reservations from being settled via direct bill to the account. Account types define the general classification of how a property's financial department handles billing. They're also used to determine which format to use when printing AR statements and reminder letters for each account. Click the Account Type search icon to view a property-specific list of account types. Click to highlight the account type and then click the Select button. The account number, commonly known as the AR number, is the key identifier for each account. The property can define their own account number formats or have Opera Cloud auto-generate account numbers. In the Credit Limit field, you are able to set a maximum amount of credit available to this account. This may also reflect the amount of the letter of credit provided by the account holder. This field can be left blank as it is not required. If an amount is entered in this field, it can be edited or removed at any time. The Contact field is where you are able to enter the department or main point of contact for the AR account. This name will appear on AR correspondence along with the mailing address. You are required to enter an address when setting up an AR account. It is important to know that the account number field has to be filled in to access the address field's search button. Click the search icon. If there is no address attached to the profile, you can add one by clicking the New button. If the profile does have an AR address, but the address type is not classified as an AR address, the information from the other address type will default into the fields. Click the Save button. Click to highlight the AR address, then click the Select button. To attach a phone number, fax number, and/or email address to the account, click the search icon next to the corresponding field. These fields will pre-populate if this information is included in the account's profile. Click the Save button. The newly created account for Accounts Receivables is listed. This lesson covered navigating to the Manage Accounts Receivables window, the process of attaching an account number to an existing profile, and the process of creating a new Accounts Receivables account. For more information on the topic, keep your Managing an Invoice 1. Invoice Details. This lesson will cover navigating to the Manage Accounts Receivables window, searching for an AR account, searching for an invoice, viewing and editing an invoice, the process of posting additional charges to an existing invoice, and the process of finalizing an invoice. To navigate to the Manage Accounts Receivables window, begin by clicking the Financials menu. Next, click Accounts Receivables and then click Manage Accounts Receivables. From the Manage Accounts Receivables window, you are able to search for and create new accounts. Click the Search button. Your search results will appear. Click the Balance link for the highlighted profile to navigate to the Manage Account Invoices window. Here, you are able to view all the invoices attached to this account. You can also create new invoices and manage existing invoices. You are able to locate specific invoices using the search area. By default, the search is set to open balances only and finalized invoices. A summary of each invoice appears in the window. When you scroll to the right, you are able to view additional invoice details. Once you have clicked to select an invoice, click the Manage Invoice Details button. From the Manage Invoice Details window, you are able to view information for the invoice. The top portion of the window displays account information, guest stay, invoice, and balance amount. In the center of the window, there's a search area you can use to narrow down the list of transactions posted. At the bottom of the window, you can view transactions posted to the invoice displayed by date. Click the ellipsis, then click the Post Charges link to open the dialog box. Here, you can post additional charges to the invoice. The transaction code field is what you would use to enter the code you need to post. Click the search icon to view a property-specific list of transaction codes. Click to highlight the code and then click the Select button. The price field is where you enter the amount of the posting. In this example, we will enter $50. The Generated Charges link becomes active when the transaction code and amount has been saved. Click the check mark, then click the Generated Charge link to open the dialog box. From here, you can view the taxes or fees that correspond with the transaction code and amount. Click the OK button. The quantity field is where you enter the amount of items to be posted to the code. This number will be multiplied by the amount in the price field. The supplement field is intended for internal notes or comments for this posting. The reference field is optional and intended for notes or comments about this posting that will be visible to the account holder. The check number field is commonly associated with food and beverage charges but can be used for any ticket or reference number related to this posting. The arrangement code field is where you can select a group transaction code. For example, if you have configured transaction codes for breakfast food and breakfast beverages separately, you can define an arrangement code breakfast charge that links the two codes together. The Add New Row link is what you would click to add additional charges to this invoice. Click the Post Charges button. You can now see that the transaction has been added to the invoice. Click the View Folio button to open the Report Destination dialog box. Here, you can make modifications before previewing or sending the folio. For more details on folios, please review the billing and cashiering courses. Click Close. Click the Back to Manage Account Invoices link. Now, click to highlight the invoice and then click the Edit Invoice button. From the Edit Invoice dialog box, you are able to view the invoice details and edit the name, supplement, and reference fields. Click the Cancel link. Click to select the invoice, then click the Payment button. If you were to click the Finalize Invoice link, you can restrict the ability to post charges or make changes to the invoice. You are also able to restrict adjustments. Click the Finalize Invoice link. The invoice is now placed in finalized status and is marked as such. Click the Manage Invoice Details button. Notice that when the invoice is finalized, the Post Charges button is no longer available. Finalizing the invoice also restricts your ability to edit the reference or supplemental information for any transactions within the invoice. You can still post payments to the invoice to bring the balance to zero. Click the Back to Manage Account Invoices link. At any time, you can click the Unfinalize Invoice button to reopen the invoice for modifications and updates. Click the Unfinalize Invoice button. The invoice is now active again, and you are able to post charges and adjustments. Additional options for managing accounts receivables will be covered in separate lessons. This lesson covered navigating to the Manage Accounts Receivables window, searching for an AR account, searching for an invoice, viewing and editing an invoice, the process of posting additional charges to an existing invoice, and the process of finalizing an invoice. For more, search for this. Managing an Invoice 2. Payments. This lesson will cover the process of applying payments to invoices and accounts, the process of unapplying payments to invoices and accounts, and reviewing an invoice's history. Let's begin by learning how to post a payment to an invoice. Click the Make Payment link to open the Pay Invoices dialog box. From here, you can apply payments to an account or to specific invoices on the account. The account field defaults according to the selected invoices. If the account profile has multiple account numbers, you can click the search icon to select an alternate account for this invoice. The Invoice field lists the options for applying the payment to the account. The Selected Invoices option applies the payment to any invoices selected in the previous window. The Unallocated option applies the payment to the overall account. It can be applied to individual invoices at a later time. The Selective option displays a list of open invoices in which you can choose to apply payment. You can choose the amount of the payment as well. The Oldest option applies the payment to the oldest invoice on the account. The Select Invoices field displays the number of invoices that are currently selected. The Method field is where you designate the payment type. Click the search icon to open the Search and Select Method dialog box. Click to highlight the payment method, then click the Select button. The total of the selected invoices will automatically populate in the Amount field. If necessary, you can edit the amount to whatever you need to post. If multiple invoices are selected and the payment amount is more than the total balance of the invoices, then the remainder of the payment will post as an unallocated credit. If multiple invoices are selected and the payment amount is less than the total balance of the invoices, then you will be prompted to selectively apply the payment. The Supplement field is optional and can be used to enter any internal information regarding the payment. The Reference field is also optional and can be used to enter any supporting information regarding the payment. When you click the Post Payment button, the Report Destination dialog box appears. Here, you can preview or email to print the payment if necessary. In this example, we will click the Back link. To view the paid invoice, deselect the Open Balances Only checkbox and then click the Search button. As you can see, the invoice no longer has an open balance. Let's look at a different account. When an unallocated payment is posted to an account, it will be listed along with any open invoices. To apply the unallocated amount, select the payment and any invoices to which the payment should be applied. The total amount for selected invoices and payments will appear in the window. Click the Payment button and then click the Apply Payment Selectively link to open the dialog box. From here, you are able to specify the amount you will allocate to each invoice. Each selected invoice appears with an active amount field. The total you enter in these fields must be less than or equal to the payment. Any remaining amount of the payment will remain listed as an unallocated payment. In this example, we will not apply a payment. Click the Cancel link. In this example, the payment will be applied to one invoice. Once the payment and invoice have been selected, click the Payment button and then click the Apply Payment link. The payment still appears in the window as it still has an open balance. The paid invoice no longer appears as the balance has been settled. When you click the Pay History button, you are able to view information regarding amounts applied to invoices. If you applied a payment to an invoice by mistake, you have the ability to unapply the payment. Click the Payment button, then click the Unapply Payment button to open the dialog box. From here, you are able to view all invoices attached to the selected payment. To unapply a payment, you would select the invoices you need to unapply from the payment and then click the Unapply Selected Payments button. In this example, we will click the Close link. We will review additional options for managing accounts receivables in separate lessons. This lesson covered the process of applying payments to invoices and accounts, the process of unapplying payments to invoices and accounts, and reviewing an invoice's history. For more information on this topic, keep your eyes peeled for additional videos. Managing an Invoice 3. Create, Transfer, and Compress. This lesson will cover the process of creating an invoice for an account, transferring an invoice to another account, and the process of compressing multiple invoices. This lesson begins from the Manage Account Invoices window. When you click the New button, you are able to create an invoice and post transactions directly in the account. By default, the name on the account appears in the Name field. You can click the Search button to choose another profile to display on the invoice. The market code, source code, and room class fields default based on parameters that were set in Opera Controls. In the Transaction Code field, you are able to select the transaction code you need to post. Click the search icon to view a property-specific list of transaction codes. Click to highlight the transaction code, then click the Select button. The Price field is where you enter the amount of the posting. The generated charge link becomes active when you click the check mark to save the transaction code and amount. When you click the generated charge link, you are able to view the taxes or fees that correspond with the selected transaction code and amount. The Quantity field is where you enter the number of items to be posted to the selected code. This number will be multiplied by the amount in the Price field. The Supplement field is intended for internal notes or comments about the posting. The Reference field is intended for notes or comments about this posting that will be visible to the account holder. The Check Number field is associated with food and beverage charges, but you can also use this field for any ticket or reference number related to the posting. The Arrangement Code field is where you are able to select a group of transaction codes. For example, if you have configured transaction codes for breakfast food and breakfast beverages separately, you can define an arrangement code for the breakfast charges that links them together. When you click the Create Invoice button, you are taken to the Report Destination dialog box. Here, you have the option to preview or send an invoice. Click Close to return to the Manage Account Invoices window where the newly created invoice now appears. As long as an invoice has no payments applied, you can transfer it to another account. Click the Transfer button to open the dialog box. From here, you are able to select a target account and enter details for the invoice to be transferred. The Transfer From section lists the details of the originating account. The Transfer To section is where you are able to select the target account to be used as a destination for the invoice. To find the target account, click the account number search icon to open the AR Search dialog box. From here, you can search for an existing account or create a new one. Click the Search button. Once you have found the account you will transfer the invoice to, click to highlight it, then click the Select button. Based on the invoice you selected, the total will automatically populate in the Amount field. The amount to be transferred can be less than or equal to the selected invoice. The Supplement field is optional and intended for internal comments or notes about the invoice being transferred. Click the Transfer button. The invoice has been transferred and no longer appears in the window. To view the transferred invoice, deselect the Open Balances Only checkbox, then click the Search button. Invoices with and without a balance are displayed. When you click the Edit Invoice button, you are able to view details related to the invoice and modify them if necessary. You are able to change the profile attached to the invoice. In the Date Information section, the transfer date is listed. In the Reference field, it is noted that this invoice has been transferred to another account. Click the Cancel link. Now let's take a look at invoices on another account. In this example, you will learn how to use the Compress Invoices option to consolidate several invoices into a single invoice. You cannot compress invoices that include postings for the current business date. You also cannot compress invoices that have been paid, whether partially or in full. There is no limit to the number of invoices that can be compressed. Once you have selected the invoices for compression, click the Compress Invoices button. The Compress Invoices dialog box displays the name and account number for the selected invoice. You can also enter supplement and reference details as needed. The Charge Information section provides a total of the selected invoices as well as a link to access details for the invoice. Click the Compress Invoices button. Now that the invoices are compressed, they now appear as a single invoice on the account. To view the individual invoices, click the Expand button. The Uncompress Invoices button is only available on the same business day the invoice was compressed. Click the Uncompress Invoices button to reverse the Compress Invoices action. The invoices are uncompressed and are once again listed individually. This lesson covered the process of creating an invoice for an account, transferring an invoice to another account, and the process of compressing multiple invoices. For more information on this topic, Accounts Overview 1. This lesson will cover navigating to the Manage Accounts Receivables window, searching for an AR account, navigating to the Account Overview window, adding new account attributes, and editing existing account attributes. To navigate to the Manage Accounts Receivables window, click the Financials menu. Next, click Accounts Receivables and then click Manage Accounts Receivables. From the Manage Accounts Receivables window, you are able to search for and create new accounts. Click the Search button. You can click an account number to view the account details and edit them. The Account Overview tab displays a summary of account information as well as links to additional attributes. A snapshot of the account information will appear in the Business Card section of the window. You can click the Name link if you need to view the Manage Profile window for the account. The Details section is divided into multiple categories. The Account section contains primary details about the account. Click the Account Setup link to open the dialog box. From here, you are able to view and edit account details for the account. When you click the Edit button, you are able to modify any available field and click the Save button to record your changes. Click the Cancel link. When you click the Aging link, you are able to view a summary of the aging levels for open balances and credits for each aging bucket. Numbers appear in both a chart and a table. When you click the View Summary button, you are able to view the aging summary view, including the total amount for each aging bucket. Click Close and then click the Future and Past Stays link. From the Future and Past Stays dialog box, you are able to view any upcoming guest reservations linked to the account. When you click the Confirmation link, you are able to view the details for the reservation. Click Close. Click the Year View link to open the dialog box. Here, you are able to view a summary of the last 12 months of debits and credits for this account. The graph view displays a bar graph of the net debits, unallocated credits, and a running balance trend line. Click the table link to view the debit, credit, and balance totals per month. Click Close. Additional attributes in this window will be covered in a separate lesson. This lesson covered navigating to the Manage Accounts Receivables window, searching for an AR account, navigating to the Account Overview window, adding new account attributes, and editing existing account attributes. For more information on Opera Cloud, please review other additional videos. Accounts Overview 2. This lesson will cover adding account attributes, editing existing account attributes, and exploring the I Want To menu. This lesson continues from the Manage Accounts Receivables window. In the Notifications section, you are able to view links you can use to add notes and generate documents for the account. You would click the Notes link to attach comments or explanatory information related to the account. You would click the Reminders link to generate a letter that advises account holders of outstanding balances. For more information on reminders, please review the Batch Reminders lesson. You would click the Statements link to prepare, customize, and process an individual statement for this account. For more information on statements, please review the Batch Statements lesson. Click the Traces link to open the dialog box. Traces are internal communications attached to an account. Traces also document actionable tasks for the account. Once the task has been completed, these messages can be marked as such. Click the New link to create a trace. The Date field is where you designate when the action needs to be completed. The Trace Text section is where you are able to explain the action that needs to be performed. When you click the Save button, the newly created trace will appear. Click the ellipsis to view additional options related to this item. You would click Edit to modify the trace and save your changes. You would click Resolve to indicate that all actions related to this trace have been completed. If you need to delete the record, you will be prompted to confirm that you would like to remove the record from the system. Click Close. In the billing section, there are links that assist you with invoice management and accounting. You would click the Fixed Charges link to set up and post recurring charges during the night audit. AR fixed charges will be covered in a separate lesson. When you click the Invoices link, you are able to view the debits and credits for this account. When you click the Manage link, you are able to view and edit all invoices attached to the account. For more information, please review the lessons that cover managing account invoices. Click the Back to Manage Accounts Receivables link and then click the I Want To button. If you were to click the Delete Account link, you would be prompted to confirm that you would like to remove the account from the profile. An account marked as permanent cannot be deleted. The account number will be removed from the profile and cannot be used. This does not delete the profile linked to the account, so the financial history remains as part of the profile. You would click the Profile link to view the Manage Profile window for the account. Click the Changes Log link to view the history of actions performed for the account. In addition to seeing the activity type for each change, you can see who performed the change and when the change occurred. Click Close. This lesson covered adding account attributes, editing existing account attributes, and exploring the I Want To menu. For more information on Opera Cloud, please read Peeled for AR fixed charges. This lesson will cover the process of applying fixed charges to an AR account and the posting frequency of fixed charges. To post fixed charges in AR, you must first identify the account you need to post the charges to. In this lesson, we are starting from the Manage Accounts Receivables window. Click the Fixed Charges link to open the dialog box. From here, you are able to set up and post recurring charges that will post to the account during the night audit procedures. Some properties may choose to use fixed charges in AR to post fees to accounts like service charges or rent. When a fixed charge in AR posts, a new invoice is created for the account. Click the New button. The Fixed Charges feature offers a convenient way to automatically post a single charge on a specific date or charges on a regular schedule. The Frequency field is where you designate how often the guest should be charged. When you click the Frequency dropdown, a menu will appear with the available options for the reservation. You would select the Once option to post the charge nightly during the guest's stay. You would select the Weekly option to post a charge once a week based on a regular schedule. Selecting Quarterly or Yearly will post based on a schedule with the corresponding options to appear when selected. In this example, we will click Monthly. Next, we need to specify the day to execute the posting. You can choose any day of the month or enter End in the Day to Execute field to have the transaction post at the end of the month. The Begin Date field is the first date that the fixed charge should post to the account. The End Date field is where you enter the last day the charge will post to the account. The Transaction field has a search icon you can use to search and select a transaction code. You can also enter the code directly into the field if you already know it. In the Quantity field, you can use the plus or minus buttons to update the quantity. The Amount field is required. Here, you can enter the amount of the fixed charge. The Supplement field is optional and is used to add internal notes about the fixed charge. You can click the Save and Continue button to record your changes and continue creating new charges. In this example, we will click the Save button. The fixed charge is now listed in the dialog box. When you click the ellipsis, options to edit or delete the charge will appear. You can click the New button to add additional fixed charges. Click Close to return to the Manage Accounts Receivables window where the Fixed Charges link is now bold and has a numerical indicator letting you know there is now a fixed charge set on this account. This lesson covered the process of applying fixed charges to an AR account and the posting frequency of fixed charges. For more information on this topic, Accounts Overview 1. This Transaction Research. This lesson will cover navigating to the Transaction Research window, searching for accounts receivables accounts, and actions you can take from the Transaction Research window. To navigate to the Transaction Research window, click the Financials menu, click Accounts Receivables, and then click Transaction Research. The Transaction Research window is designed to help you locate invoices and payments when you do not know all the details for the transaction. This window is a convenient starting point for performing many of the common AR tasks. You can use the search area to find specific invoices by entering information in any of the available fields. Once you have entered your search criteria, click the search button to view your results. You can now see each invoice and payment posted to the account. Based on the status and balance of the invoice you select, different actions are available. The Pay History button appears in the window when a payment is selected. If you were to click this button, you would be able to view a history of payments for this account. You can click the Manage Invoice Details button to open the Manage Invoice Details window. You would click the View Folio button to generate a folio for the invoice. The Edit Invoice button is available for you to view invoice details or edit supplement and reference information. Clicking the Transfer button would open the Transfer dialog box where you can transfer the partial or full invoice amount from one account to another. When you click the Manage Account button, the Manage Accounts Receivables window opens. From the Manage Accounts Receivables window, you are able to access AR details related to an invoice or payment. Click the Manage Invoice button to open the Manage Account Invoices window. When you click the Payment button, you will have options to either finalize the invoice or apply a payment. When you finalize the invoice, you can no longer make new postings, edit transaction, reference, or supplemental information, or make adjustments to charges. When you click the Apply Payments option, you are able to post payments to the invoice. For a detailed explanation on these two options, please review the Managing Invoices lessons. This lesson covered navigating to the Transaction Research window, searching for accounts receivables accounts, and actions you can take from the Transaction Research window. For more, search for this. Batch charges. This lesson will cover navigating to the Batch Charges window, reviewing the Posting Details window, and the process of posting batch charges. To navigate to the Batch Charges window, click the Financials menu. Next, click Accounts Receivables and then click Batch Charges. From the Batch Charges window, you are able to simultaneously post a one-time charge to multiple accounts. When you click the search button without entering any criteria, your results will display all accounts. You can click the line item or the checkboxes next to the accounts you need to include in the batch. Alternatively, you can use the Select All checkbox to include all accounts, then click the Post Charge button. The Posting Details dialog box will appear. Here, you are able to enter information for the transaction you are posting. The Transaction Code field is where you enter the code you need to post. Click the search icon to view a property-specific list of transaction codes. Click to highlight the code and then click the Select button. The Price field is where you enter the amount of the posting. This amount will apply to all the accounts we selected. If necessary, you can use the Supplement field to enter internal notes and comments. You can use the Reference field to enter notes to the account holder that explain the charge. Click the Post button. The balance for each account has been increased by the amount of the posting and any applicable generates. You can continue posting charges to accounts as necessary. This lesson covered navigating to the Batch Charges window, reviewing the Posting Details window, and the process of posting batch charges. For more information on Opera Cloud, keep your Batch Reminders. This lesson will cover navigating to the Batch Reminders window, reviewing the Batch Reminders window, and generating and printing batch reminders. To navigate to the Batch Reminders window, click the Financials menu. Next, click Accounts Receivables and then click Batch Reminders. From the Batch Reminders window, you are able to send reminder letters to account holders to advise them of outstanding balances. When you click the search button without entering any search criteria, your results will display all accounts. You can click the line item or the checkbox to include the account in the batch. In this example, we will click the Select All checkbox to choose all accounts and then click the Process Selected Reminders button. The Batch Processing dialog box will open. Here, each account we selected is listed. The age of the outstanding balance determines which reminder letter is generated for each account. If a selected account is not eligible for a reminder letter, it will be labeled with the text "No Reminder." While holding the Control key on your keyboard, you can click to select multiple accounts to include in the batch. Click the Process Reminders button to navigate to the Batch Report Destination dialog box. Here, you can change the destination for each reminder. The default report destination is Preview to Print. When you click the Process button, the Batch Reports window will open in a separate browser window. From here, you are able to view the status of the reminders that are being generated. When processing is complete, the window will update with a message confirming that the reports have been successfully generated. The reminder letters will appear in a separate browser window where you are able to print or download them. When you exit this window, you are returned to the Batch Processing dialog box where you can continue printing additional reminder letters if necessary. Click Close to return to the Batch Reminders window. This lesson covered navigating to the Batch Reminders window, reviewing the Batch Reminders window, and generating and printing batch reminders. For more information on the topic, keep those and core statements. This lesson will cover navigating to the Batch Statements window, reviewing the Batch Statements window, and generating and printing batch statements. To navigate to the Batch Statements window, click the Financials menu. Next, click Accounts Receivables and then click Batch Statements. From the Batch Statements window, you are able to select accounts to prepare and customize the statement content. When you click the search button without entering any search criteria, your results will display all accounts. When you have finished selecting the accounts to include in the batch, click the Process Selected Statements button. The Batch Statements option dialog box will appear. From here, you can determine the details you need to include. If multiple currencies are configured for your property, you are able to change the currency view here. You would click the Print Zero Balance checkbox to ensure the batch includes invoices that have a zero balance. The Print Invoices checkbox should be selected to print each individual invoice that is listed on this statement. The Include Previously Printed Statements checkbox should be selected to print invoices that were generated on the last statement. The date you enter in the Balance Forward From field determines the balance forward date and balance forward total that is printed on the statement. Balance Forward displays the net amount for all invoices and payments prior to the balance forward date as a single total rather than itemizing them individually. The last post from and to fields are where you enter a date range of transactions that you want to include in the statement. The Order By field is where you can select whether you would like to print invoices by date, custom reference, arrival or departure date, the guest's last name or room number. The Promotional Text field is where you are able to enter a message that will appear on the final page of the statement. For example, you can thank the guest for their payment or enter any promotional details to welcome them back. Click the Process Statements button to open the Batch Report Destination dialog box. Here, you can change the destination for each statement. Click the Process button. The Batch Reports window will appear where you are able to view the status of each statement processing in the batch. When processing is complete, a message will appear at the top of the window to notify you, and the statements will appear in a separate browser window where you are able to download or print them. When you exit this window, you are returned to the Batch Statements Options dialog box where you are able to continue generating statements. This lesson covered navigating to the Batch Statements window, reviewing the Batch Statements window, and generating and printing batch statements. For more information on Opera Cloud, please review other courses on this topic within Opera Digital Learning. You may also visit the Oracle